Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another Crafty Simulations video. Today we are bringing back a classic for this channel. We have the Cows DA42. I am going to do some more videos in this aircraft. I have divulged over to the black square scene and I'm back with the Cows, and that sounds wrong, doesn't it? But yes, can I still call it the greatest twin-engined aircraft here in Microsoft Flight Simulator? Let's see if we can rekindle some thoughts about this aircraft in this video. Hello and welcome back to the DA42. Now, I've said this many times on the channel, the DA42 by Cows was my first true great general aviation aircraft. It kind of hooked me. I'll be perfectly honest, there was nothing I didn't like about this aircraft. And the support it got from the developers in the update process, it went through its lifetime, just made it better and better. And I called this aircraft the greatest twin-engined general aviation aircraft that I'd ever flown. And I know that is a big, bold statement, and it sure as heck is a big, bold statement today at the end of 2025. Because there were a lot of twin-engine general aviation aircraft. We featured them on this channel. We haven't featured every twin-engine general aviation aircraft yet, but we featured some good ones. Black Square are knocking the ball out of the park for general aviation aircraft. And I keep battering on about this layers, which I look at in a product for flight sim. And Black Square A2A, with their Dukes and their Barons and their what's the A2A one? I forgot. The Aerostar. There you go. They have got some fantastic twin-engine aircraft. And like I say, for me, it all started with this, the Cows DA42 Twin Star. And I haven't featured it on the channel for quite a while. I love this aircraft. I loved it. Have I moved on? I don't know yet. So we're going to have ourselves a little flight in this aircraft. It just looks awesome. It's so different. I mean, that thing there, I don't know what it is, I'm perfectly honest with you. But it looks like a 310 with those tanks. But it looks so different to the 310, to the older style aircraft. You have a very aerodynamic looking body. You have upturned wingtips. I mean, we get those in airliners now. Well, actually, we get them in a lot of general aviation aircraft now, and they do a fantastic job of I think they cancel out wingtip vortices. I think, off the top of my head, but everything on this aircraft just strikes you as futuristic, aerodynamic, speed, maneuverability, as far as a general aviation aircraft goes. And it's fantastic, and I love this aircraft. And I said in the intro, is this aircraft still... we have to ask the question, is it still the best? In my opinion, is it still the best twin-engine aircraft here on the general aviation market? Well, hopefully today we're going to answer that video. We're going to answer that question with this video. We're going to go for a little flight. I want to say I'm going to come back into Wickham, but I'm trying to think this out in my head. I think I probably am. So I'm probably going to stay roughly in the same area. So let's get inside the aircraft, shall we? It's probably a little bit, well, I would say warmer, but somebody open the canopy. I mean, just look at this thing. It's futuristic. It's not so futuristic now, if we know it, because it has two G1000s, which are very great avionics packages. Absolutely awesome. I've actually got half of that here in front of me now. I have a G1000 screen. Different from the analog gauges, we still have the analog gauges here as backups, but in reality you should never need them, because you've got your airspeed, your altimeter, your which direction you're going, all that kind of stuff, compass related on this side, on the PDF, and the MDF has got all your is it MDF? No, MDF's wood, you fool. I can't remember what it is now, but the moving map is over here. PFD, MFD, that's it. MDF. But yeah, like I say, you've got all your stuff you need to fly on this side and to navigate on this side, and you have your autopilot controls here, and you have everything else you needed. It's just fantastic. I love this thing. I really, really do. So anyway, before we get to misty-eyed and all the rest of it, let's shut that up, shall we? So, like I say, we are Burning Blue Designs Wickenby, and we will be flying. Stay in the local area. It is end of November, isn't it? Less than a little bit over a month of Christmas. There you go. Oh dear, that's sobered me up a bit. Right. Anyway, so let's get this show on the road, shall we? So we know how to start this thing pretty much. So we'll have the master switch on. Thank you. We'll have our position lights on. Thank you. We shall put that over to there. Let the system power up. Parking brakes confirmed as on. We're going to have a quick start with this aircraft. So, just checking my controls are working. They are. I like singing to myself. It's weird. So let's get the left engine fired up, shall we? So we'll have the master switch over to start. Get that ready. We are waiting for the glow plug. It off. It has. We are clear on the left side, clear on the front, clear. Let's get Trackir going, shall we? So, clear on the left side, clear up front, clear on the right side. Parking brakes are set. Can we have a clear prop? I just love how this aircraft just starts up. It's wonderful. Right, we'll shut that. Get the noise back down again. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Avionics, that's it. That's what we're going to do. We should really have had fuel pumps on. So 700 RPM, that's fine and dandy. Clear for right engine start. So we'll have the right engine master on. Wait for the glow plugs to go off. And they have. Get the right button. And we have a good start. A little over 700, that's fine. Right, so we have our
system test. Okay.
You're welcome. We have our stall heat off and pitot heat off warnings. That's correct and confirmed. Engine, we are sitting in the cold. That's fine. We'll warm up. 21 gallons in both wings, wing tanks. That's fine. Centralise that. If I find the right button, we'll press that. The altimeter was already centralised, that's fine. One thing this aircraft really did miss, and it was rumoured it was going to get it, was an actual EFB tablet, and we got the tablet physically. It sat right there, but it's not clickable, unfortunately, so it's a bit of a shame. It's a bit of a bummer. I mean, you look at a lot of aircraft nowadays, they have the tablets. You know, I mean, look at Burning Blue Designs. Look at Black Square even. Look at Black Square and their tablets. How much information they provide. Absolutely fantastic. While we sit here and warm up the gearbox, I will say that, like I said at the start of this video, I do actually own a G1000 by Real Sim Gear. It's a wonderful piece of hardware. I highly recommend it if you're into that sort of thing. It's fantastic. I did purchase a second Real Sim Gear piece of hardware. I now proudly own a GTN 750. I love the 750. If an aircraft has a 750 in the sim, I am all over it. If it hasn't got a 750, I want a 1000. I want a G1000 in it. So I've now got both my dream avionics. I'm having a little trouble setting up the 750, if I'm perfectly honest, but I'm getting there. I have some time off coming up from work, so I am going to obviously, hopefully work on it while that's happening. So yeah, gearbox temperatures now. Let's have a look. Yeah, we'll be close to ideal temp, and we can move the aircraft on the ground on low RPMs whilst we are in the yellow on our temperatures, but we need to be in the green for our gearbox temperature so that we can actually do our engine run-ups. So anyway, we're still clear on the left, clear on the right. Let's, I've been moving things around. Find out where my rudder pedals are. So, let's come off the parking brakes. Taxi lights are coming on. We are clear to start. ATC not required and not sought. Clear on either wing. Absolutely love this aircraft. I still get that excited feeling getting into this thing and actually just, you know, starting it up. It is a fantastic thing. Cows did an awesome job. They had a great place to launch this aircraft from. It was in a great state, and it only got better as various versions were updated. I don't think they do too much work on it nowadays because it is pretty much as good as it's going to get. The only thing I would say it's missing is that tablet down there. And they moved on to the DA40NG. What's the future for cows? Don't know. I think there was talk of another twin-engine DA40. Sorry, DA42 even. It might be the slightly bigger one. Is that DA45? I can't remember. I think it's already in the sim. But that could be the next aircraft. Obviously nothing anytime soon. So anyway, flaps are going to come down to approach and take off. That's what we need. Fuel pumps are on. Parking brake is set. We're just going to crank the rudder trim over a touch. So we're now in the white for our engine run-up test, and unlike normal aircraft, you have to do this manually. In the DA42, we're in the future, we can do this with buttons. So we're just going to find the imagination click spot here, imaginary even. Press that. We'll run that up twice. And that is honky-dory. So, right, we'll come off the... Actually, we're going to reset our fuel. That's reset. We are going to have our pitot heaters now coming on as is required. Flaps are down, tax lights coming off, landing lights coming on. We've got the bong for the stall heat, that's correct. Strobe lights are now on. Pull that back out. And we are set and ready to rock and roll. So, nobody on approach. Wickerby Tower, Golf, Delta Golf Foxtrot, entering runway 21. Are we squawking? I always forget the squawk. Always forget it. Right, so power set, flaps set, lights set. Pilot is harnessed and locked in. Nobody's brave enough to get in this aircraft with me. So let's go off the parking brakes, sitting on the wheel brakes, let's run her up. Brakes released, let's go. Power set. Airspeed's alive. There's 50. There's 60. Over the hump. I think we're carrying a little more fuel than we really need, but we got off the ground. Check brakes, gears coming up. flaps coming up. And confirmed. Powering back. Looking at about 100 knots plus in the climb. Fuel pumps coming off, 1 and 2. Flaps confirmed, up, green light, gear is up, no lights. The view out of this aircraft. There's a lot of aircraft that have restricted views, you know, canopy bubbles and canopy parts that get in the way. This is just not one of them. A trademark of the Diamond series aircraft. Feet, 110 knots and slowing. Cycling over Wickenby. My usual departure style. Autopilot set. This aircraft is just absolutely fantastic. It really is. It gives me almost like goosebumps to get back in this aircraft. It's like a muscle memory. Not just obviously knowing what most of the buttons do in the cockpit, but hearing those sounds, the purr from these engines. Absolutely fantastic. This aircraft has still got it. I don't think it ever lost it, if I'm honest. So at these power settings we have 1,200 mile range on 31 and 34%. We'll have to get that a bit more closer. .1,200 mile range. It's honestly biblical in this aircraft. I mean, it's twin engine reliability. Aircraft can carry a lot of fuel as it is. We're quite heavy with fuel. Let's take ourselves over to Humberside. We'll get ourselves lined up. So now flying on the heading hold mode of autopilot. You might be wondering about the different colours you can see here on the MFD or MDF. I still can't believe I called it a piece of wood. But anyway, yeah, the colours, I've put the terrain mode colour visualisation onto the MFD. And basically green means no issue whatsoever. Yellow means just keep an eye out, you're getting a little bit close. Red would mean that's at your altitude. So we're currently flying at 1,540 feet, and we have some yellow ridge line, which I would guess is this ridge line up here ahead of us. Very useful feature, especially when flying VFR, especially when flying in America. I mean, the last few videos I've been doing, I've been in places in America where the terrain is simply awe-inspiring, and here in the UK it's a little bit flatter. Just look at it. Might well turn off the landing light, but it's a lovely looking, futuristic looking, brilliant handling aircraft this is. Anyway, to save you guys the well, for a fairly boring flight over to Humberside, we're going to latch onto the normal landing pattern over the Humber and come back in to landing at Humberside. I will pause the video here for you guys and save you guys that, and I'll bring you back when we're on our approach just before going into finals. So welcome back to the flight. We are just setting ourselves up for our landing. We're going to do a short field approach. So fuel pumps are coming on, landing lights are on, pitot heat is on, autopilot is now selected off. Going to bring ourselves into less than 100 knots. Humberside is back down there, so I don't normally like doing short field approaches like this, but I like to test myself. Flaps coming down to approach. Gears coming down. Retrimming. The aircraft becomes quite nose heavy now. Turn the flight director off. .92 knots. Runway's in sight. Good conditions. So final checks. Fuel pumps are on. Flaps down to approach. Pitot heat is on. Landing lights are on. We've got a right to left headwind at 5 knots. I'll put the nose into the wind a little bit. just coming down to landing. We're going to land a little bit off sense line on purpose. Stall warning acknowledged, that's fine. Welcome to Humberside. On the brakes. We don't really want to press the brakes too hard. Obviously, if it's a real aircraft, we'd like to keep the brakes in good quality. We don't have a taxiway, so we will be backtracking up the runway. So my thoughts on the DA42. I started this video off with the question of, is it still the best, in my opinion, the best twin-engined aircraft here today, end of 2025 in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024? I'm going to say a very bold statement and go with no. Is it the best? No. Does it have issues? The only issue I can think of is the fact it doesn't have an EFB. That being said, its positives are great sounds, great handling, great design of cockpit with good functionality of all the buttons, the fuses if you so wish. It's all here. Does it have the level of depth of... I'm trying to do two things at once now. But does it have the level of depth of the black square aircraft, the latest aircraft, let's say the Baron even? We'd have to compare it to the Baron in twin engine. No, it doesn't have that level of depth, but everything that you need, you have. It's not missing for anything in this cockpit right now. All functionality is here. It's got the lot. Flaps are retracting, that's good. To say that it is the best twin-engine GA aircraft here, I couldn't say it. I couldn't say it was the best. What I would say is that it hasn't got any worse over the years. Right, popped up. Yeah, it has not got any worse. It has not... Shutdown's a little bit quick on the engines. I always notice that. Right, so let's just quickly... Position lights are now off. Strobe lights are off. Blah, 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 blah is off. AV is off. Is it still, like I say, you can't say it's the best aircraft here in the flight sim right now. What you can say, to be perfectly honest with it, is, like I say, it has not got any worse. It has not got any updates that were bad for the aircraft. They were fixed very quickly by Cows, which I love the support from Cows. They were fantastic. One of the really good companies. What has happened by the end of 2025, as now we have more options for aircraft that rival this aircraft. Yes, the Bonanza, sorry, Baron, I'll get it right, the Baron that has just been released is the new kid on the block. The Aerostar 600 from A2A is a newer aircraft compared to this. This aircraft hasn't got any worse, there's just more competition. So ask yourself, if you're in the market for a twin-engined aircraft, what are your needs? What are you wanting? If you can only purchase one aircraft, if you pinned me down and said, which aircraft, Crafty, out of those three, would you purchase, and only can purchase one? Oh, God, that's a tricky question. Oh, I don't know. I just don't know. I can't. I'm trying to script it out in my head. All three of them are fantastic. The price point, this aircraft is cheaper than the other two, guaranteed. The other aircraft are £40 plus. If you buy the Baron and Bonanza, it's something like nearly £60 if you buy them separately. Obviously, like I said, buy them together in the pack, it's cheaper. But you're still talking, I think it was 30 something pounds for the Bonanza, for the Baron. A2A over £40, I think so, nearly £50 if I'm honest. That's A2A, I'm not going to quibble over that. This, I think, is 20 something pounds, and you know, obviously has sales and whatnot, makes it a bit cheaper. If you want a classic twin-engined general aviation aircraft, Aerostar 600 and the Bonanza are your aircraft. It depends on the level of detail as to how far you want to go. If you want an aircraft that is futuristic looking, has an avionics package inside it, which is just absolutely fantastic. I've just realised there's a second person in the aircraft. Weird. Like I say, if you want a G1000 equipped aircraft, so it's a little bit leading to the 21st century, get this. It's still a fantastic aircraft. Plenty of repaints on flightsim.to. It is a very good aircraft, and I think it does deserve a place in anybody's flight sim hangar. It hasn't. The conclusion we can say is this aircraft has not got any worse. There's just been more aircraft released that rival it, and probably better it in certain ways, but not to the point where you could clearly say that aircraft is better than the other two. Of those three aircraft, you cannot say one of them is better immensely than this aircraft right here, right now. That's my opinion. That's all I can come up with. So anyway, if you've got any questions or comments about what I have just dribbled on about, and you like, let's say you've got three aircraft, you've got the DA42, you've got the Aerostar 600, and you've got the, I'll get its name right, the Baron, and you rave over one particular aircraft out of those three, why is it? I'd love to hear why it is. I'd love to hear your opinions on it. So anyway, if you've got any questions about this aircraft, please bang them below, and I will get around to answering them. And I will see you in a future Microsoft Flight Simulator video very, very soon.